One of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, Duke and North Carolina renewing pleasantries, and it is the road team that reaches victory in Durham. North Carolina 84-79, thanks in part to Cormac Ryan, the senior, spoiling senior day for Jeremy Roach and the Blue Devils. He pumps in 31 points, 6 of 8 from beyond the arc, 4 late free throws as he goes 9 of 10 from the charity stripe. Make your free throws, kids, because every point counted in this game, as they all do, but it all meant something down the stretch because Duke was making a late run, and North Carolina, I like at the end there, they're waving goodbye to the Duke fans, saying, this is what the rivalry needs. We need a little bit more beef. It's kind of like, since that Final Four in New Orleans, we need a little beef, and we got it. First regular season outright ACC title since 2017 for North Carolina. Remember, they didn't make the tournament last year. They're going to be dancing this year as they are on the 3 or 2 line, depending on who you ask. Our Jerry Palm has them on the 2 line for now. All right, back here with CBS Sports senior writer Matt Norlander. That was a fun game. I like the chippiness. We saw Kyle Filipowski trip Harrison Ingram in the first half. We saw some chippiness at the end, but really who stood out was Cormac Ryan in this game.
Cormac Ryan, we have had a Saturday here with some notable performances, and Cormac Ryan near the top of that list, Akeem. For him to show up in this moment, you know what? The UNC-Duke rivalry is great for so many reasons, dozens of reasons, maybe hundreds of reasons, but one of those is that you occasionally get a guy who's a role player that steps into a starring situation, and Cormac Ryan, 31 points, 6 of 8 from behind the three-point line. Huge. And he comes over from Notre Dame. He's a graduate transfer. It was one of a number of notable transfers on this UNC roster. And, you know, could he have ever imagined a year ago playing on a Notre Dame program that was going nowhere in the ACC to now you are the hero and the storied rivalry, and the biggest reason why. You see Carolina's resume right here. Obviously, we're going to have updates to come with Jerry Palm as we look to refresh that bracket overnight. For me, right now, because Tennessee lost on its home floor to Kentucky on Saturday, and UNC just winning one on the road, quad 1 win at Duke, standalone regular season championship in the ACC, I think I'd lean UNC as the 4th 1 seed right now. There's still plenty of time. Those two teams, in addition to Arizona, they got to play conference tournament play, and so there's going to be jockeying. This has been a fun race. If you've really been tracking us for the past few weeks, you know that Houston, UConn, and Purdue have locked up the ones for a couple of weeks now, but it's that 4th number 1 spot that really has been up in the air. It was UNC's, then it was Tennessee's. Now it could be Carolina's. Arizona still has a chance if it can win the Pac-12 tournament, Akeem. Big development there for the top seed line, and then just the general storylines with everything with UNC and Duke and what happened there. Filipowski tripping Harrison Ingram.
That was very Grayson Allen-esque.
It's undeniable, and you know we'll get more in the post game with all of that. But yeah, that was another element here with Filipowski. But credit to UNC and its defense. And I understand what Duke gets 79 on the board, but if you watch the game start to finish, and what Carolina was able to do with its defensive rebounding, it owned the glass. Really impressive execution of a game plan, and yeah, UNC. What a difference a year makes. A year ago, preseason number 1 didn't make the tournament. Now fighting to be a number 1 seed.
Cormac Ryan, a career-high 31 points, and for Duke, that's giving up 84 points. The only games that gave up more than 84 points, both games to North Carolina this season. That's the only time they allowed more than 84.
About that.
In those 2 games against their bitter rivals.
Yeah, and for Duke, real quick, Hakeem, you know, the loss stings, Carolina, the rivalry and all of that. Now Duke is going to probably be in a position where it's going to be maybe on that 3 line again. ACC tournament play, we'll see what happens. Palm had him as a 3 seed coming in. 4 is on the board, maybe. 2 is only possible with an ACC tournament championship and then some help. In this game in particular, as you look at the Duke resume overall, you know, Jared McCain, 19 points, solid. Jeremy Roach, a little up and down on his senior night, unfortunately. Tyrese Proctor, he's been up and down all season. You need a little more from him. Filipowski gave you 23 points, and actually, you know, he had some foul trouble. And aside from the trip, which obviously sent social media on fire as it happened in the moment there, Filipowski was actually a pretty critical player overall, but not quite. I know, John. I'm telling you, I'll take you into the locker room right now. Jon Scheyer is going to be telling that team, we have exhibited a lot of consistency, toughness, and fight for 40 minutes in the past, 4 to 6 weeks. Weirdly enough, did not have that here. and you got to turn it. You know, Duke is a team that is talented enough to make a Final Four push. I'm a little skeptical whether or not it can be consistent enough for 4 games to do so, but Shire has a group that's certainly capable. You need just, you know, between Roach and Proctor, they got to be more consistent. Caleb Foster is hurt. You know, you needed TJ Power to come out of obscurity, you know, to hit a couple of big buckets here to even keep this game within, you know, striking distance. Couldn't get it done overall. UNC, super impressive. They've got a really good shot at a 1 seed.
Yeah, they do. I'm curious what you think if we have chaos. If Arizona, Tennessee, and North Carolina all win their conference tournament. I know you don't have to make that decision.
I got you.
But what are you doing with the final number 1 seed? Because in any order, it's going to be Purdue, UConn, and Houston. Whatever order you want to put them in. And it's the last 4, number 1 is up for grabs.
That doesn't even matter real quick on that because UConn's going to go play in Brooklyn and then to Boston. Houston will stick local to Memphis and then be in Dallas. And then Purdue will play, in Indy and then go to Detroit. So even the order of the 1, 2, 3 overall rank, it doesn't matter because they're already, the way that those teams are this year and the regions with the brackets and the sites how that broke down, this is actually a rare year where the number 1 overall seed really doesn't carry much significance at all. If we see Tennessee win out, SEC championship, we see North Carolina win out, ACC championship, and we see Arizona win out, Pac-12 tournament championship, I would lean in that scenario. I believe I would lean Tennessee to be the final one. The biggest reason why is if things break the way they are supposed to break, and there is no guarantee of that, conference tournament action. Why do we love it? Because we can get upsets all the time. But if Tennessee faced its toughest road to an SEC championship and, say, beat Kentucky in a 3rd game, a rubber match for the SEC title, I would think that Tennessee should be the one, but I will couch it with this, and we talked about it this week on the Eye on College Basketball podcast. Fair or not, and I think not, you can go back for 10, 12, 15 years, and certainly it feels as though for whatever reason, that SEC title game seems to have virtually, and granted, it's 1 data point out of 30 or 31 games every single season, so I get it. We shouldn't put too much emphasis on a single result, and this is all hypothetical we're talking about anyway, but that SEC championship game has not moved, be it a team winning or losing in an interesting spot, and seem to have affected seeding. So we'll have to wait and see on that. It's a good convo and a good toss-up. I mean, we got a week to go here still before Selection Sunday. But in your hypothetical, if all 3 won out, I would lean Tennessee should get the final 1.
Tennessee has never been a 1 seed in program history, looking to right the wrongs of the past because Rick Barnes has not been good in the NCAA tournament, and this might be a year where he could take this team deep, especially with a guy like Dalton Knecht, who dropped 40 in a loss to Kentucky as we get closer and closer to Selection Sunday. But right now it is North Carolina victorious over Duke, 84-79, as they clinch their first outright regular season title since 2017. Look at us.
Whoa.
Look at that.
You know what?
We're smiling. We're happy. We're ready to go.
I got a better headshot than that. I should have sent it to the people. This is good, but I actually got a better one.
Maybe we'll go talk to Vinny, and he can get another photo in there.
Make it happen?
Yeah, we can get another photo in there.
Okay.
You know, we're going to have it for you, covered wall-to-wall coverage. Selection Sunday, just over a week away, and we will have the bracket. We will Matt's going to pick a bracket all the way to the national champion. We're going to pick games against the spread. It's coverage you're not going to get anywhere else. Full bracket breakdown here on CBS Sports HQ.